Hey everybody, Derek from Mac Gaming here with a new video. Thanks for stopping by, and for those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at two versions of the same game, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Since I'm testing so many games for the RPCS3 emulator, I came across this one, and I decided to compare it to the iOS version, which I purchased back in the day for my iPad. So on the left side of your screen, you're going to be looking at the iOS version, available on the App Store, and on the right side, we have the PlayStation 3 version emulating at 1080p 30 FPS. Now, these are both supposed to be HD remasters of the PlayStation 2 version, with improved graphics, improved shadows, and further draw distance. But right off the bat, comparing both images, in my opinion, the PlayStation 3 version seems somewhat more saturated. You can see that greens are greener, CJ's jeans are bluer. Overall, the image stands out a little more, colors stand out. It's somewhat more appealing. As you can see here in the drive-by, the car just looks better, the colors look better. It's almost as if the iOS version has been like slightly washed out. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with optimization for the Retina screen, since this game was developed for iOS and it came out on the Retina screen back in the day. Maybe it has something to do with that technology. I'm not sure. Now, when looking at draw distance, I did notice that the iOS version has further draw distance. As you can see here on the far end, the traffic sign appears earlier on the iOS version compared to the PlayStation 3 version. And once again, I'm not sure what this is due to. It might have to do with optimization, since they were developed for two different systems. Maybe, the A chips that are in iOS devices, they're slightly more powerful. They can draw further compared to the PlayStation 3, but we don't really know. Now, regarding shadows, well, I think here it's the same thing as I said earlier with the saturation. Shadows are darker on the PlayStation 3 version. They just look better. The shadows on the iOS version, they look slightly washed out. And I think that this, once again, is due to just colors being more saturated, so the blacks are darker, and this is not the case with the iOS version. Now, up ahead here, when they group together with their bikes, as you can see on the iOS version, they all have the same colored bikes, like they're all gray. And this actually, it stood out. It caught my attention, right? On the PlayStation 2 version, you can see that bikes, well, one's orange, the other one's purple, the other one's green. But on the iOS version, well, I guess, or they forgot about the assets, or maybe they weren't able just to pack in the same amount of information. We do have to bear in mind, though, that they do have different sizes. Like on the iOS, I believe it's somewhere around 2 gigabytes, and I think the PlayStation 3 version is slightly bigger. So maybe they forgot about those textures, or they just tried to cram in as much as they could to keep it, to keep it simple, to keep it as low weight as possible, since this was going to be downloaded on mobile devices. Now, moving on to this part here. Even though the PlayStation 3 version is at night, what we're going to see is reflections. As soon as CJ walks into the barber shop here, we're going to see that the reflections that are happening real time in the mirror, they just overall, in my opinion, they look much better on the PlayStation 3 version. We're going to see that all these images that are being reflected on the mirror real time, they just look much cleaner, much sharper on the PlayStation 3 version. Even the barber guy who looks like Morgan Freeman, his face, I feel like I can see much more detail. And this is the same amount of zoom when comparing both images. So yeah, like overall, in my opinion, the emulation of the PlayStation 3 version on the M1 Mac just looks better. But again, it all just boils down to personal preference. Now, regarding performance, well, there isn't much to be said here. Like, we're comparing native ARM code to emulation that has to be translated through Rosetta. So just to give you some information here, the iOS version uses about 300 to 400 megabytes of RAM, where the RPCS3 version is using anywhere between 2 to 3 gigabytes, which is what we usually see with games lately. CPU-wise, well, the iOS version barely uses any CPU power. The emulator does, because it's translating code. So, it's on par with what we're usually seeing these days. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Let me know in the comment section, what's your preference? Which one do you like better? Do you like the iOS version? Do you like the PlayStation 3 version? Which one would you buy? Which one would you play? Thank you for watching the video. Check my channel for more content, and have a good one, guys.
What you waiting for, fool? Take us back to the Grove, motherfucker.
Look where you going!
You've been yapping on about that graffiti, too. Later, homie.
Just doing this to help my man get back on his feet.